$3 trillion just changed everything. Petrodollar 2.0, Bitcoin at $100,000, and the New World Order. Something massive just happened on May 13th that could reshape how the global economy works. President Donald Trump announced a $600 billion investment agreement in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, launching what some are calling the dawn of Petrodollar 2.0. But it doesn't stop there. Ceasefire between two nuclear powers, a trade truce between the US and China, Bitcoin crossing $100,000, and a crypto exchange joining the S&P 500. This is real, this is seismic, and this might be the moment that defines the next decade. If you felt something shift, you weren't wrong. This is the new economic order unfolding in real time. Let's start at the top. Trump walks out of Riyadh with a $600 billion pledge. This includes $142 billion in arms, the largest in U.S. history, $20 billion in AI infrastructure from a Saudi firm called Data Vault, and tens of billions in transformative tech partnerships with Oracle, Google, AMD, and more. There are also investments in autonomous vehicles, aerospace, healthcare, and renewable energy. And this is just Saudi Arabia. Days later, $1.2 trillion from Qatar, another $1.4 trillion from the UAE. Combined, the Middle East has pledged over $3 trillion directly into the U.S. economy. That's not a routine trade deal, that's a multi-decade bet on American stability and innovation. This isn't just investment, it's realignment. Think of it as a modern Marshall Plan, funded not by post-war urgency, but by sovereign wealth and strategic vision. These countries are choosing the U.S. as the home for their growth capital. They're betting on American infrastructure, innovation, and defense capabilities to fuel their returns. Why? Because markets crave predictability. This play is a big bet against chaos, against the fragmentation we've seen in recent years, and for long-term prosperity. And it positions the U.S. as a safer, more attractive hub in a world facing rising uncertainty. We're witnessing a strategic pivot in global finance. This could be a counter to rising BRICS influence and China's growing role in Asia and Africa. The Middle East is clearly signaling that despite global power shifts, they're backing the U.S. And right in the middle of this, Trump helps negotiate a ceasefire between India and Pakistan, two nuclear powers on the edge of escalation. That ceasefire wasn't just about avoiding war, it restored market confidence and reminded the world of the diplomatic leverage America still holds. If the U.S. can stabilize conflict zones and attract trillions in capital, that's economic diplomacy at its peak. And then comes the shocker. The U.S. and China agreed to dramatically reduce tariffs, from a punishing 145% down to just 30%. That's not just good news, that's a release valve for global markets. We saw the S&P 500, the Dow, and the Nasdaq all shoot upwards. This wasn't an accident, it was coordinated confidence building. Lower tariffs ease supply chain pressures, raise corporate profit margins, and signal an era of renewed cooperation. It's still competitive, yes. But this is not Cold War 2.0, this is commerce diplomacy. Crypto had its own defining moment. Coinbase was quietly added to the S&P 500 index. That means index funds, pensions, and 401ks are now buying crypto exposure automatically. For many, this is the moment crypto went mainstream. Add that to Bitcoin crossing $100,000 and suddenly this isn't a fringe asset. It's infrastructure. Crypto is becoming a permanent pillar of the US financial system. The speculation era is giving way to stability. So how am I investing in this new era? I'm not chasing hype, but I'm not sitting it out either. I'm dollar cost averaging into the S&P 500, buying broad exposure through VTI and VOO. I'm still accumulating Bitcoin, not to gamble, but because I think it's becoming a core asset in the global portfolio. I'm also parking more cash in short-term treasury bonds. They're paying me 4% to stay flexible. In moments of big change, flexibility is wealth. Staying liquid means I'm ready for both opportunity and volatility. This isn't just a story for economists or politicians. This is about you, where you put your money, your energy, your attention. This could be the most significant investing window of the next decade. Don't miss it. Trillions are moving. Alliances are forming. The economy is tilting toward growth and clarity. The market will reward those who act with conviction. And in times of change, the best strategy is to stay invested, stay informed, and stay calm. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments how you're preparing for this shift. Stay tuned, we're just getting started.